Good morning, everyone. Namo Amritofo and masteryonghua. Thank you for joining our Sunday morning Pureland Dharma Assembly. How is everyone doing? How was your Buddha names recitation? Anyone have any question, any comments? Otherwise, I can introduce you the fourth patriarch of the Pureland Dharma door. Yes, number 9, please.
Amitabha, Master Z.
Hello.
I've been reciting Buddha's name every morning with the beads. Doesn't take that long, just 108 times. But what are some good Pure Land practices for lay people that have a busy day? And that's my question. Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, and you repeat the last part of it.
What are some good Pure Land practice for lay people that have a busy day?
Okay, thank you for your question. Anyone recites name, Buddha's name, Amitabha names at home? And what's the benefit of that? Can you share with us? I believe that many of us recite Buddha's name, right? No one does. I think we have Master take care of us, so we don't need to do anything, right? Go for its question. Is that a question from Go for us or answer that related to Malcolm's questions? Yeah, please go for us. Please speak anyway. Thank you. Thank you. No? Okay. To me, my experience with the Amitabha Buddha's name recitation is that any time I feel scared, I just recite Buddha name. I don't recite one yin name. When I scare or in situation that I feel I need to focus, most of the time I recite Buddha names and I feel calm and concentrated. Yeah, but just a few recitation. I cannot recite very long. 108 times is very long to me. I cannot focus that long. But just a few recitation of the name, and then I feel very calm and the scare just go away. So that's my benefit. Yes. And I think that's it. That's for me. That's why I recite Buddha's name. Amitabha Buddha's name. So I think, but theoretically, we can help you. The Buddha name can help you focus. I think that is for sure, because it was a part of our practice. We come to the assembly and we recite. I feel I can receive the energy of everyone of the assembly when they recite Buddha names together. So we receive the good energy from other people who are attending the ceremony too. So I think this is another part of the practice, and it's one of the I think meditation method that we can practice too. So it can help focus you concentrate. I believe that a lot of, not a lot, but other teaching can help you even get to enlightenment with recitation of Buddha names. If you do good enough, you can do that, and or for the pure purpose of the sole purpose of the Buddha names recitation, you can enter the single-minded recitation of Buddha name, and you can have a connection with Amitabha Buddha, and at the end of your life you can go to the Pure Land. So that's the teaching. Did that answer your question, Malcolm? Yes, number 9. Please.
Got one more question. So last night we had the mantra session. This is about the mantra last night. And then I started, it was during the second mantra. And I started... and then I started hearing the spiritual sound. Like I started hearing angels. And I want to know if... I know it's like a spirit, it's a frequency you can hear. But has that ever happened to anybody else? Does anybody hear angels or... So, just curious about that.
Yes, Justice, please.
Well, a couple things. So first of all, yes, I also hear that sometimes. And I've also talked to a few other people who have heard it as well. And it's sort of a sporadic thing. But we also had 2 quick YouTube comments about reciting Amitofo.
Yeah, okay, yes.
One is from Diego Alfonso. He said, Amitofo, Master, I think it's a constant process. For me, I try to recite the Buddha's name at all times, no matter what I am doing. Of course, most of the time, my mind is distracted. So every time I notice that, I try to go back to the recitation. And we had a second comment from T.S. Geppetto. He said, recently, when I unbuckle after a longer sit, I automatically go Amitofo, Amitofo, Amitofo to counter the pain from unbuckling. It helps.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the answer. So based on, I just remember another point of reciting Buddha's name. Is that because to me, Buddha names is easier to remember, especially when we get sick. I'm not sure we get sick or it's a time to depart from this world. I'm not sure we remember to enter Samadhi. I don't know about that. But Buddha name sound more easier to remember than to remember how to remember some Samadhi state to enter. So besides Buddha names, there's that kind of advantage to me. Yeah. In response to Malcolm's question about hearing the spirit, anyone have any experience? I heard a lot of gossips about that. Do we want to share what you experience? Number 1, please.
Malcolm, what does an angel sound like?
I don't know, but it sounded like like a higher pitched song. So I've heard sounds before, but this last night was different, and it sounded like female voices and coming from right over here, and was it you? Oh, no. Oh, you're the one. Okay, you're. Guilty party is right next to me. Okay.
So you hear only the sound. You see images, any images.
I didn't see anything different. Just just a different sound I've never heard. And
So,
that'd be good to ask.
how do you know that's from a being from heaven?
Oh, I don't know.
No, you don't know. Okay. Number 7.
I hope it's something good.
Number 7, please.
Amitabha Master.
Yeah.
I don't hear angels sound, but I often hear like an insects buzzing sound. So that's my experience.
I see. Okay. We can. Number 5, please.
Master, I don't know if it is an angel sound or sometime that our ghost, the female ghost following us, that they residing with us as well. I don't know if this is pertaining to that.
Yeah, I think usually we hear some sound. It has some different aspect of the existence, right? It's not just the sound only, but we have some kind of feeling that go with that sound, and how can we perceive it as a certain kind of being, the heavenly or from lower realm. I think there are other feelings that help us to have a prediction from where that sound from. Number 5. Please.
Oh, yesterday is also an interesting time where it's been years that since I see you the first time, there's the group of men concentrated all together. It's like a Freemason. Maybe that would be like an effect for that.
Yes. I had that same thought this morning too. Yeah, just related to Malcolm's question, I feel when we hear, I don't hear sound much, but what I experience usually the feeling of what is coming close to us, just a feeling, and sometimes an image, but not clear, but I don't hear much sound. Okay, if there's no, Jesse, please speak.
So I also don't really know how to tell where the sound comes from, but pretty much my whole life I will hear music in my head from somewhere, and everything you hear has almost like a certain frequency or feeling associated with it. So like some things, like when I hear the music in here, the best way to describe it would be that it feels very light. It's very light. But some things you'll hear or feel and it feels very heavy. And obviously there's probably many gradients to that that I'm not aware of, but that's how I can determine to some degree.
Okay. Thank you, Jesse. If nothing else to talk about, we can please share the slide so I can talk about the fourth patriarch of the Pure Land Dharma. Thank you. So today we will talk about the fourth patriarch, the Great Master Fa Chao. So I appreciate Chen and maybe other people to help me to prepare the material. I have looked for other information on the internet too, but I use a lot of information from Chen. So thank you so much. So this is an image of the fourth patriarch. So he was born in Tang Dynasty in year 747 in Yanzhou, Xingshi County. So now in the XianZhi province, you can see the province is a red area in China. That's XianZhi province, and next to that is the map of I believe the map of the XianZhi province, and the blue area is Yang County, which is Yanzhou, back in the time of the fourth patriarchs. So he became a novice at the age of 11, and he heard about the Buddha name's recitation of the first patriarch, Master Huaiyuan. So he liked it very much, and so he traveled to the Dongling Su, that's the temple when where the first patriarch Huaiyuan started Pureland practice in Mount Lu, and he tried to become single-minded, recite the Buddha name. So one day during the meditation, he saw himself coming to Western Bliss Pureland and saw a monk wearing shabby clothes standing next to Amitabha Buddha. So he asked the Buddha who was the monk was. So in this part, we can see this part in the experience in the Pure Land from the third patriarch experience too. So we talk about this. So that the Buddha replied, that is Master Chongyuan from Nanyue, from Mount Hong. So because the third patriarch, that is Master Chongyuan, single-mindedly vowed to attend rebirths in Pure Land. So he manifests his as the fourth patriarch saw him in the Pure Land. So after that vision, so during the Yongtai era, that year 765, he journeyed to Mount Hong in the south and studied under Master Chongyuan. And he received the teachings of the Pure Land school from Master Chongyuan. And he started to practice the Buddha name's recitation. It's called Nyanfo. At the temple called Bocho Temple, that temple is created by the third patriarch. So a lot of people came to that temple to practice Buddha name's recitation. So in the summer of the second year, when he was at that temple, while practicing Buddha name's recitation, I think the 14th night, he spiritually went to the Pure Land, the Western Bliss Pure Land again, and he asked the Buddha to teach him a wonderful Dharma. So the Buddha said, there is a priceless five-fold assembly, Amitabha recitation Dharma door, which is suitable for that turbid and evil world. I think the Amitabha Buddha referred to the Saha world. So after have that vision, he vowed to establish the five-fold assembly, Nyanfo. Later we'll explain what that mean, five-fold assembly. I have the explanation, but not sure about the source of that explanation. So here we can see the image of, I think the master went to the Pure Land and see Amitabha Buddha again the second time. So in year 767, that means the next year, he left the Bocho temple and settled in Yunfeng temple in Mao Tong. So one day while having a meal, I suddenly saw auspicious 5-colored clouds, temples and mountains and forests, streams and stone gates from the armbows. So within the 5 leagues away, a league is a unit of measurement in ancient China is only about 500 meters. So about 5 leagues away from a stone gate, he saw a temple named Great Sage Bamboo Grove Temple. So although the scene was vivid, but he wondered if it just was merely an illusion of his mind. So some day later, he continued to see the same scene again. So this time he also saw Manchushri, Bodhisattva, and a host of holy beings speaking the Dharma. So after finishing the meal, the vision gradually disappeared. So after seeing that, he consulted with his fellow monks and got the advice that resemble the Mount Wutai. So Wutai is the 5 great temples in China, where we can find a temple where 4 Mahasattvas reside, like Manchushri and Puxian Pusa, Dijangwang Pusa, and Guaxiyin Pusa. So that's where Mount Wutai is. So inspired by this advice, he developed a desire to make a pilgrimage to Mount Wutai. But however, due to various obstacles, he was unable to undertake the journey. This is a picture of the vision he saw during his meal. So in the summer of year 769, the Master initiated a 5-fold assembly, Amitabha Buddha name recitation retreat at Hudong Temple. It's called It's Lake. Hudong means It's Lake Temple in Hangzhou. So when he started the retreat, people can see auspicious 5-color clouds cover the entire temple, and within the clouds there are many celestial towers and temples. And amid the clouds stood there was Amitabha Buddha and the 2 Mahasattvas, who are Guaxiyin Bodhisattva and Great Strength Bodhisattvas. So their form spread and filled the whole sky. So although attending the Dharma assembly, they clearly saw that vision too, and they joyfully bowed to the Buddha and the Mahasattvas. And the manifestation lasted for 4 hours before it faded. That's an image of what they saw at the assembly. So here is an explanation of the fivefold assemblies Buddha name recitation as taught by the master. So it's explained, it's the first assembly is slow and steady recitation in low level tone. Namo Amitofo. It's a little bit different from our practice, I believe. We just recite Amitofo, we don't recite Namo Amitofo. And then second assembly is recites a little bit faster, it's also Namo Amitofo. And it gradually increase the speed. So it doesn't explain here that they all recite together or it take time to recite. It doesn't explain here. But to me, I think they take time to recite, because if they recite together, it would be like a mess. We cannot hear anything if the five assembly recite together at the same time. So it's sort of like similar to our practice nowadays. So during that first night of starting the fivefold assembly, the master encountered an old man. So the old man asked him, Dharma Master, you once vowed to make a pilgrimage to Mount Wutai. Why have you delayed it for so long? So he replied that there have been many obstacles and the journey is long and difficult. How could I possibly make it? So the old man said, as long as you are truly determined, how could distance and hardship stop you? So then the old man disappeared. So the master was both astonished and delighted by the teaching of the old man. So he renewed his vow in front of the Buddha's image. When the fivefold assembly had been over, he will immediately set out for the pilgrimage, and even the path have fire or river of ice, he would never turn back. So that was his vow. So he had several companions to start with, and he was able to proceed this time. So in year 770, on the 5th day of the 4 months, so the master and his companion arrived at Mount Wutai, and guided by radiance of a light at the mountain, they found their way to the great size bamboo grove monastery. I don't think this is not just a real temple in that area, but I think just their more than their vision than just a real temple. So there they saw Manjushri Bodhisattva and Great Strength Bodhisattva seated in the lecture hall upon lion thrones and spoke Dharma to an assembly. So they can also hear the voice of the teachings of the Bodhisattvas. So with deep respect, the master bowed to the two Mahasattvas and asked, in this Dharma ending age, ordinary beings like myself are far removed from the type of the Buddhas. So our wisdom is increasingly dim, and our defilements exceedingly deep, and our Buddha nature remains obscured. So the Dharma is vast and boundless among all the methods of cultivation, which is the most essential. So he asked Manjushri Bodhisattva and Great Strength Bodhisattva that question. to this painting of the sin there. Yes, number 9, please.
Master, the old man that came to him that disappeared, did it say in the writings that if that was a spiritual being like a Buddha, or did it say anything?
No, it didn't explain who the old man was in the text. So then Manjushri Bodhisattva replied to him that among all Dharma doors, none surpasses Buddha name recitation and making offerings to the triple jewels. All Dharmas, including Prajna, Paramita, profound meditative states, and even the Buddhas themselves arise from Buddha name recitation. So here we have more teaching that relate to Malcolm's question, what can it do to a lay person? So we can see more benefit from that. So that's now that the Buddha recitation is the king of all Dharma. So you should constantly recite the name of the Supreme Dharma King. So then after that teaching, the Bodhisattva placed his hand on the master's head and predict that because of his Buddha name recitation, he will soon attain unsurpassed perfect enlightenment. And if any good man and woman wish to quickly achieve Buddhahood, there is nothing better, no matters better than the Buddha name recitation. And by practice that method, they will swiftly realize supreme enlightenment. So when the teaching concluded and the two great bodhisattvas recite the verses to one another, and the master listened respectfully, and his heart filled with Dharma joy, and withdrew after bowing. So that also is just like a vision to the people who came to Mount Wutai instead of a real temple and real bodhisattva there. So even though he picked a stone there and carved on the stone to commemorate the event he experienced at Mount Wutai. So in the same year, in the last month, the last lunar month of the year, he traveled to Huayuan Temple. And he was determined to refrain from eating anything and only practiced Buddha name recitation to attain rebirth to the Pure Land. So in the evening of the 7 nights, an Indian monk came to the temple and told him the supernatural phenomenon of Mount Wutai that Master saw should be revealed to all living beings so that they can bring forth the Bodhi mind and gain great benefits. Why haven't you revealed it? So the Master replied, it's not that he wants to hide, but he was afraid that people have doubt and slander him after hearing about that. So the old monk said that great sages like Manjushri Bodhisattva was also slandered by people. So what do you have to worry about? So that's because of that experience. So he started to recall the incredible incredible saints who experienced his experience and recorded in a book known as Records of Great Sage Bamboo Grove Temple. And the master continued to practice the Pure Land Dharma law, especially the Fivefold Assembly, Buddha names recitation. And because of that practice, the emperor at that time was the Tang of the Tang dynasty, Dai Zhong, can also heard the sound of their recitation from the northeast direction. So the king sent someone to look for the source of the sound and found Master Fa Chao's teaching Buddha name recitation. So the emperor invited the master to the imperial palace to teach people. So because of that, Master Fa Chao was regarded as a teacher of the country. That is the first time in Chinese history where an emperor invited a monk to teach Buddha names recitation to people of their palace. So that's the drawing of the palace where the Master Fa Chao came to teach Buddha name recitation to people there. So in the 12th year of the Dali region, the master led 8 disciples up to in the practice of Buddha name recitation in Mount Wutai. So while they are on the eastern terrace, that's one of the 5 mountains, so they saw radiant and multicolored clouds and mysterious light. So there he saw Manchushri Bodhisattva again, riding a green-maned lion. So at that moment, snowflakes drifted from the sky, and the 5-color halo surrounding Manchushri Bodhisattva illuminated the entire valley. So he was later inspired to write the praise of Fivefold Assembly, Nyanfo, Dharma rites and rituals. Yeah, no question.
No, it was just a comment. So amid like a chaotic time right now with this new administration, if these things happen, I hope we can have a temple close to the Mount Wu Tai so that we can receive the radiance just like the people here. In the text I was saying, it was wonderful living with under protection of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas like this.
Yes, I hope people in China have that experience first. If they have enough faith, I guess. Also, they're part of his practice. He often go to street to teach people how to recite Buddha names, and a lot of people follow him, receive the precepts from him, and also adopted vegetarian diet. And then one day during his Buddha name recitation, I think he entered Samadhi and he saw an Indian monk named Buddha Pala telling him, your Pure Land lotus have already formed and after 3 years it will open. So that a painting of that, what he experienced with the Indian monk. So after 3 years, 3 years later, the great master told the assembly, now it's time for him to go to the Pure Land. So he sat in to meditate and departed peacefully. So because of his diligent cultivation and effort to propagate the Pure Land Dharma, she was regarded as the fourth patriarch of Chinese Pure Land Buddhism. Yes, that's the whole information I have. Anyone have any question, any comments about the information? So one thing I learned from this, I see anytime you start doing something good, you will have an obstruction that make you make us to want to back down, and it's very difficult, not easy. So we have to continue to set the mind and to continue what to do, even obstruction can come. Yeah, but try to be determined to do what is good for us. That's all I learned from this. TTT question, please.
Hello, Amito Master Z. It's not a question, it's a comment.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for showing us the Vajra Sutra, Mudra yesterday.
Yes.
Usually when I circumambulate, for some reason, I get like really bad headaches. But since we're reciting, I couldn't do number 3. So, but today I was like, okay, I'm going to try the mudra. So I did that, and the headache lasts for about 2 rounds. Usually it lasts for like a few hours. So thank you. It worked really well.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Yes. So it's applied to someone else, so not just me. Thank you so much for the feedback. Yeah, this morning I have some weird experience too. Like I was preparing for slides, and I was in the tower, but somehow I just thinking I was in DTT. Just maybe too attached to DTT, I guess. Okay, anyone else from Afghan? Malcolm, please, number 9.
Amitabha, was it hard to find this information? Because I haven't heard that much about the 4th patriarch. It was always, we studied the 6th patriarch for years, and always wondered about the 4th patriarch. So was it hard to find good trusted source for information?
When you say 6th patriarch, you mean Master Huainang? It's in 2 different Dharma doors. The 6th patriarch is in Chan meditation, but it's Pure Land practice, 2 different.
Oh, so he's the 4th patriarch for
the Pure Land. Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah.
And then the 6th patriarch is Chan.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's 2 different schools. Thank you for the question. Okay, if nothing else, so we can stop here today. We can do the lunch offering. Thank you so much, everyone. Namo Mito Pho.